Hello, I'm sitting here with the Singularity University in the background in California, near San Jose in Silicon Valley. And it's in the center of something called the NASA Research Park. And all around me here are organizations involved in high-tech research into transhumanism, into space technology, and all that whole area of cutting-edge research, at least cutting-edge in the public arena. And I've come here to the Singularity University because it sounds kind of nondescript and nothing of great importance to humanity, but it is. Because among the people who created this Singularity University is Ray Kurzweil, one of the great PR men for Frankenstein and the transhumanist nightmare. And the whole agenda is for humanity to have technology put inside the body, inside the brain, nanotechnology in the end, which you can even breathe in. We call it smart dust and nanobots and various other names. And that this technology will connect the human mind to what I've been writing about for years and called the technological sub-reality. But the people like Kurzweil, who set up this Singularity University with others, they call this technological sub-reality the cloud. And they say that humans will be connected to the cloud by 2030, which is no time from now, really. Or at least it will start then. And that we will then, this is Kurzweil's words, we will then think from the cloud. There'll be, as he puts it, gateways in the cloud to our brains. And more, as time passes, you will have a situation where the cloud, he says, will do more and more of human thinking until it does human thinking in its entirety. So what we're looking at behind this whole agenda is the complete hijacking of the human conscious mind and immediate subconscious mind by those that control the cloud. And that will be artificial intelligence, which will, of course, have the agenda that it is programmed, or it chooses to have, if you go really deep into this nature of what AI really is. And they're being open about it because they're trying to sell it as making people superhuman. We are seeing this constant sales pitch that by being connected to this cloud, this Wi-Fi sub-reality technological cloud, we will be able to do things and understand things that the human mind cannot. And in fact, the whole term singularity refers to a point where artificial intelligence becomes greater in thinking potential than human consciousness, the human conscious mind. And so what they're saying is, connect your brain, your mind, to this technological cloud, and you will be superhuman. You will be able to think like the machines can, like the AI can. Of course, it's complete nonsense, because the opposite is the case. It's not about making people superhuman. It's about making them subhuman. It's about the end of humanity as we know it, in terms of anything, even approaching free thought and free perception. Because perceptions will be coming from the cloud to the conscious mind. And the conscious mind will think, I'm having a thought. I'm going to do this. I agree with that. I'm going to support that. I'm going to oppose that. I believe this. But actually, it won't be the human mind reaching those conclusions. It will be impulses from the cloud. That is the entire agenda of this transhumanist nightmare, which is unfolding around us, and which the Singularity University here is pushing and pushing and pushing, and Kurzweil and co are pushing and pushing and pushing. The complete takeover of human thought, and through that human emotion. And what is happening is we're being taken down that road step by step, in a very coordinated way, which appears random to most people. And it goes like this. First, you get people addicted to technology they can hold. Let's call it holdables, the smartphones, the tablets, etc. And of course, look around you in any group of people anywhere in the world. Look at so many young people when you see them in groups. And the rest of the world doesn't exist much of the time. Only the screen of the smartphone exists. As the human mind becomes more and more attached in terms of focus and focus of attention upon, in effect, an expression of the cloud. And then the next stage, and we're well into that, has been to get technology on the body, because that's, of course, the next step to getting in the body. And so we have this term now, wearables. These are your smartwatches, your Bluetooth, your Google Glass, etc. So get the technology now out of the hand and onto the body in a way where you actually wear it through the day. And what we're already seeing is the next stage, and the stage they've been manipulating humanity into from the start, and that is implantables, where technology is put inside the body. And this is the technology that is designed to be connected to the cloud and thus take over human thinking. So in this NASA research park, so much will be going on so many levels, in so many technological areas, to advance this agenda of the technological control of the human mind. Whether it's the Singularity University here pushing this transhumanist nightmare, or whether it's putting satellites up to beam Wi-Fi to the entire planet. Because of course, if you're going to connect everyone to this cloud, this technological subconscious mind is what they plan it to be for humanity, then you have to have Wi-Fi everywhere. And that is what is happening. And names that are connected to this, people might not think of. Google's a search engine, right? Google's there to help you find what you want on the internet. Well, actually, it's more than that. Facebook, all these are just down the road from here in Silicon Valley. Facebook is just a way of keeping up with your friends and sharing your information and what's happening to you, right? No, it's much more than that. So this is the Singularity University. Now let's have a look at Google. So here we are, just a few miles down the freeway at Google in Silicon Valley. And it's kind of appropriate how close it was to that NASA research area in the Singularity University. Because, as I was saying, people think of Google primarily as a search engine on the internet, which first of all gives it enormous power because of its domination of the search engine arena. Because through algorithm codes and other technology and methods, they can manipulate the stories that appear most prominently on their search engine lists. So, for instance, it's possible to favor a candidate in a presidential election, and there's been a number of stories around the internet in the current election campaign between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, suggesting that their research tells them that Hillary Clinton has been emphasized, and bad things about Hillary Clinton have been suppressed in terms of their the ability to find them on Google. So the potential's there to manipulate information by its domination of the search engine potential of people going on the internet. But it's far more than that, because Google is one of the prime drivers of this transhumanist agenda, in league with an organization that it works very closely with, called DARPA. And DARPA is the technological development arm of the Pentagon. This is the organization, one of the most sinister on earth, that develops things like death rays and ever more effective ways of killing people and controlling people with surveillance technology and mind manipulation technology. And this combination of DARPA and Google is at the forefront of pushing this transhumanist agenda, articulated by people like Ray Kurzweil and his Singularity University. And Ray Kurzweil just happens to be an executive of Google. He is called their chief futurist, or something like that. And you then start to see explanations for what apparently are strange happenings. Some years ago, a lady called Regina Duggan, who was the head and director of DARPA, suddenly made a strange career move on the face of it. She moved from DARPA and became an executive of Google. But when you do the research and you realize what's going on, you see that this apparently strange career move from the technological development arm of the Pentagon to a search engine organization was actually, in effect, an interdepartmental transfer, because Google are fundamentally involved in so many areas in this transhumanist agenda. They, for instance, took over a company called Boston Dynamics, which is one of the prime organizations, a very prominent organization in the development of machines and robots controlled by artificial intelligence. And they are under contract to DARPA. And this combination is extremely important to understand in relation to this agenda for the control of the human mind by attaching the human mind to a technological sub-reality, this cloud that they talk about. And also what's being developed is a robot army. I've been talking for years about the fact that the idea was to create a world army to impose the will of a world government. But it's actually one step further than that in terms of what I'm talking about here, because in the end, they don't want that to be an army of humans, but an army of machines controlled by artificial intelligence, where artificial intelligence is making decisions on who to kill and who not to kill, and who to bomb and who not to bomb. And this is not me surmising and pulling it out of the ether. You're seeing this in news headlines now as these technologies come to light that are high-tech, cutting-edge military technologies controlled by artificial intelligence. And of course, in Dallas a few months ago, we had the first killing by a robot, when a robot killed someone who was claimed to have been shooting at police. So we are now in a world, an arena of sci-fi, and science fiction is supposed to be a projection into the future, coming from the imagination. But actually, science fiction is now science fact, and it's all around us. And it's being driven by organizations like the Singularity University and by Google. And what Google have done in recent times is change the name of much of their company to Alphabet. There's a reason for that, I would strongly suggest. The areas that Google is involved in, all these areas I'm talking about and more, is vastly, vastly, vastly beyond just the search engine that people know about. And Google has become such a buzzword that when people see it or hear it, it registers with them. So it's like they want to avoid the situation that was gathering, where they said Google's into this transhumanist agenda, it's doing this. What, Google's doing that? And Google's doing that? What? Google? Is that Google? Google's doing that? Because the word is so known to people, you can't hide it. So what they've done is changed the name of much of the company to this nondescript, easily forgotten, in the vast majority of minds, completely unconnected to Google, this name Alphabet. So Alphabet are doing this and Alphabet are doing that. Well, I don't know, who's Alphabet? This is why it's being done. And we need to watch people like Kurzweil, the Singularity University, the Transhumanist agenda, and organizations like Google, like a hawk, with a telescope, because we are being manipulated into literally giving our minds away to technology controlled by artificial intelligence. And then the question comes, which is what I talk about in my events around the world, among many other things. What is this artificial intelligence? Who is asking that question? Artificial intelligence is going to control this, it's controlling that, it's controlling that. So what is it? I think when you look at that question and see what artificial intelligence really is, you realize that it's more than just technology. So here we are, again, just a few miles down the road from Google and the Singularity University. I've got to shout a little bit, I think, because we're right next to a main road, which in build-up America is very, very easy to be alongside. They're everywhere. So, Facebook. The T-shirt. Cool, man. I'm one of you. Facebook, of course, is just a social media platform. That's all it is. Nothing to worry about. Except that it's more than that. And let's start off with its increasing censorship. You know, when you're building a communication platform, a communication network, where you are trawling people's private lives because they are telling you
themselves what their private lives are. And when you are building a network of information communication all around the world, well, you seem at first like the good guy. So here's the t-shirt. Hey man, cool, I'm one of you. But then when you get big enough and you think powerful enough, then you start to manifest what you were really created and developed for. And that is to be not a vehicle for free flow communication of information, but to dictate what can and cannot be heard. So what we're seeing more and more with these giants of the internet, not just Facebook, but organizations like YouTube, which of course is owned by Google, is more and more censorship of information that is challenging the official version of everything, that is exposing that what we're being told through the mainstream media is simply an illusion, a pack of diversory lies and half-truths to stop us seeing what's really going on. And so, in terms of YouTube, what's appearing more and more to people who are within what's called the alternative media is that videos that they put on YouTube that were previously what they call monetized, you could get advertising money from them. Now they are demonetizing videos that are in almost any way often challenging the official version of anything, particularly seriously challenging the official version of government and military and wars and terrorist attacks, because they know that so many in the alternative media get their ability to function financially from monetization of videos. So that's a very targeted effort to break down the alternative media and make it more difficult to function. Then you come to Facebook, and I know all about this myself, because so often you'll post things that question or challenge the system that are actually often quite mild, but they still get taken down, and you get banned for a week, or in some cases, for some people, banned for a month, in some cases banned altogether, for posting things that people have a right to see and hear. But because Facebook has got so massive, so powerful, it thinks it can now start to strut around and dictate what people can and cannot hear. And for me, you know, no one will ever convince me that the t-shirt, Mark Zuckerberg runs this place. No way in the world. Fronts it up, but ultimately that's not where the real power is. Because when you research this and you go deep enough into it, you find that these internet giants like Google and Facebook and so many others, YouTube of course because it's controlled by Google, that actually they answer to the same masters. They're part of the same web. So we're standing here, and this is a series of pretty nondescript buildings called Facebook, but that's a strand in the web, and the web is what dictates ultimately the direction and the behavior of Facebook. And then there's another strand in the web here, and it's called Google, but ultimately it's the web that dictates the direction and behavior of Google. And so what you're looking at are different masks, if you like, on the same face, different strands in the same web, and it's that force at the center of the web, the spider, if you like, that's actually driving this agenda through all these different strands and aspects of the web. So this censorship that's going on in all these different internet platforms and expressions is actually not someone's decided here, someone's decided there. It's actually coordinated through the web. It's always going to be like that. And if you then take another look at Facebook from the transhumanist point of view, what I was saying over at the Singularity University in Google is that we have this transhumanist agenda to attach the human conscious and subconscious mind to the cloud, what Ray Kurzweil calls the cloud. And therefore the cloud, a technological, artificial intelligence generated sub-reality, would do more and more of human thinking until it was doing the totality of human thinking. They're openly saying this now. And Facebook is involved in that. As I've mentioned, if you're going to have everyone attached to a Wi-Fi based global cloud, then that has to be what has to be created is a Wi-Fi cloud that no one can get away from. A Wi-Fi technology that covers every inch of the planet. And that's what is happening. Satellites are going up there. Again, you know, all your SpaceX and all these other organizations and NASA and DARPA, they're all connected and controlled by this web, pushing the world in a certain direction. And so you'll remember that a few weeks ago, there was a rocket exploded at Cape Canaveral. And it was a rocket being tested and prepared by this organization, SpaceX, which is headed by this guy, Elon Musk. And he has been, again, one of the people who has said we must get technology inside us to attach us to this cloud, because if we don't, then we won't keep up with the machines, we won't keep up with the artificial intelligence. So that's just another little way of saying and providing an excuse and a reason to get people attached technologically to this cloud. But that rocket exploded before it was due to send up a satellite from Facebook that was planned to bathe the entirety of Africa in Wi-Fi. And this is what these satellites are doing, being sent up. It's to bathe the entire planet in Wi-Fi, to bathe the entire planet in the cloud, which they want through this transhumanist agenda to attach human minds to. And so this is what's unfolding before our eyes. And just moving around this Silicon Valley from place to place, by American terms, everything very close to each other, you're in the epicenter of where this whole agenda is being driven from. And we need to become aware of it, because if we don't, we will go on sleepwalking into this transhumanist, the end of humans, the end of humanity as we know it, nightmare. It's time to wake up, and bloody fast.